question is, can we build a strategy that is super effective for prop firms and then not for the challenges, because that was covered in last week's episode, but can it be very effective for if you are a funded prop firm trader, and what's important, what to look at, and how to even build it in Profectus AI. It will be a beginner tutorial on how to build a strategy for prop firms. This one, super high strike rate, super consistent in the sense of what it does every single month. And yeah, I think it's a nice template to use. Of course, no financial advice, and let's dive into Profectus and let me show you the trades, the report, and how to build it. Okay, super excited to dive into this strategy. It is made not for a personal account, it is made for just prop firm accounts. And the reason for it is super consistent, but it has some big risks, okay? And therefore on a prop firm account, it is demo money and the payouts are real. So that is a different way. And therefore I play it as a statistical game. It's like, how many payouts can I get without losing my account? If I can get 10 payouts and then lose my account, I made in those 10 payouts enough that I can purchase a lot of new challenge accounts, okay? That's the statistical game I play with prop firms, and therefore maybe this strategy looks epic to run on a personal private account as well, but I don't recommend to do that because there are some risks with it, and we're gonna dive into it. But besides that, you will have a beautiful thing here. Let's dive into the overall platform. So if you're new, what you can do is go to the link in the bio of this video or in description, click on it, this strategy opens. If you're new, just make a free account and it opens up and you can test and play around with it with me. So how does this work? We put everything of all the code we put in blocks, and therefore we built a drag and drop platform. Why do we put it in blocks? Because the code is pre-written, it's consistent, it's always the same, it's reliable, and that's what you want with financial algorithms, right? And by connecting these blocks with yes and no answers, you can build a billion different strategies. Like, we have automated all types of strategies. I'll show you some here, and you can see all trading styles are already automated. We have been building so many strategies, and yeah, you can just find your trading style. But first, let's focus on prop firms now, because that is the current season. This strategy, we have the blocks on the canvas. Let me quickly explain. Everything on this canvas runs every single time the price moves. So imagine here seeing run per candle. Run per candle just means every candlestick close, the algorithm is checking the next thing below and below and below. It's like a decision tree. If you run this algorithm, let's say on the 15-minute time frame, on Kiwi Swiss, then I will keep it on the 15-minute time frame, because then run per candle means every 15 minutes we're gonna check the next thing. What is the next thing? Are we in a certain time session? And this time session is using inputs, but you can also just use text. But let's do an input. An input is a setting in your MetaTrader. If you download this algorithm and not test in the platform but on your own terminal in MetaTrader 5, then you want to adjust settings when you upload it. And if you have any questions, by the way, use the question mark down below and you can ask anything to our AI, because it is trained on everything we build, all our documentation, all our teachings, okay? With that said, we have here running session means start time is set at 2 at night and end time is set at 8 in the evening. So what that means is every single 15-minute close, we're gonna check, are we within 2 in the morning or 2 at night and 8 in the evening, okay? Are we within that time frame? So this algorithm doesn't do anything before 2 and after 8. So are we in this session? Yes. You can also maybe see it as like are we in the London session or the Asian session? Like, you can build it all, and you can even adjust options like, are we in a certain month or in a certain weekday, but not relevant for now. If that's true, if we at the 15-minute close are within the session, we're gonna check if the candle close is above the upper band of the Bollinger. If that is true, then we're gonna check if the relative strength index is also above the value 70. If that is true, we're gonna check some higher time frame confluence. If that is also set at 1, and I will explain what this block does. These two are quite simple, just simple price action, a little bit more advanced. And if you watched last week's episode about creating a prop firm challenge algorithm, then you might already recognize a little bit of this strategy, but it is different. So stay with me. We have count trades. Do we have any trades open? Yes or no? So is the trade count 0 or is the order count 0? This is also something, if you open your MetaTrader before you take a trade, probably you know it out of your head, like, do I have trades open today? And this strategy doesn't want to have more trades open every day. So therefore we check, do we have 0 trades? Yes, we have 0 orders also placed, no buy limits or anything, or sell orders in this case. If that's true, we're gonna place a sell pending order on a certain price, and that's the candle close of the last 15-minute candle with a price offset of 2 pips, so 2 pips away of that closing price on the 15-minute. Candle 1 means last closed candle. If you want to place it on the candle before, you can do candle 2. But okay, let me quickly repeat. We have every 15 minutes, we're gonna check if we are in a session. If we are in a session, we're gonna see if the last candle close on the 15-minute time frame is above the Bollinger Band, upper band. You have 3 bands. And then we also check if the relative strength index is above 70. If that's also true, then we check one more thing, more on that later, and then count trades. If you have 0 trades, we're gonna place a sell pending order at the candle close with that offset, with a fixed volume, so a fixed lot size. You can change that. It is an input, again, it is a setting that you can use and create. Here you can see all the standard settings. Then we have stop loss. We have a stop loss of pips. So how many pips? We are using a huge stop loss. So we don't really have a stop loss, and therefore never run this on a private account. It's like super risky. It has a huge strike rate because you have a small target, so you reach the target quickly, but then if you're in drawdown, you can be in deep drawdown, lose it all, right? So never run this on a private account. It's way too risky. Then custom price level, we're gonna have a take profit at the middle line. So you have 3 Bollingers, we're gonna target the mid line. We delete the order after 15 minutes. Quite similar to the strategy of the last week's episode. By the way, we do a whole season about the trading style. So this is the prop firm season. So also check the last, I think, 3 videos before this one. We have here running session. So we're gonna check between 2 and, what was it, 2 and 8. We're gonna check something. What do we check? If the candle high of the 1 hour time frame is currently above the upper band. If that is true, we change a variable. So a variable is normally, if you create a variable, let's go to inputs and variables. You have inputs, settings, and variables are things you write down or the algorithm remembers, right? It's a memory. So like I said, if you want to save something that your algorithm knows, like what we do here, you want your algorithm to know, is the candle high above the Bollinger Band? Yes. Maybe you want to store that information for a while, okay? So then you can use a modify variable, and we create that variable, and we change the value of the variable. Normally the variable is set at 0, the value is 0. You can name it however you want. But then we want to change this variable to 1, or if the answer is no, if the candle high is not above the upper band, maybe you want to change the variable back to 0. So if it is 1, you know we are above the Bollinger Band. If it's no, we are not above the Bollinger Band. Okay? Then we have here a lot of things. We have a lot of sell orders, and this is where it becomes very crazy. We have running sessions, so within that time frame, well, we just shared it. We want to select the trade, so check if we have open trades, sells only. And this is a sell pending order, and we're gonna use group numbers now. So you can tag every trade that an algorithm takes. You can tag it and then use it for, to do an action. So let's say you have 3 trades open, maybe the middle trade, if that reaches profit or stop loss, you want to take another action or something. Like you can tag with numbers your trades. So we're gonna do that. Here the sell pending, if this sell pending order is triggered, it has to tag 1. Okay, so we always know, or the algorithm knows, like we are not doing anything, the algorithm does it. The algorithm knows, okay, I have a sell pending order with group number 1, and that tag just stays to it. So if triggers, we have a sell trade with the tag 1. Then we can select this trade. So we're gonna select the open trade with group number 1, and it is a sell trade. So now we grab that trade and we're gonna do something with it. We're gonna check, okay, how much do we float? So check profit loss. We check if we have a floating amount is bigger than or equal to, and it is losing, so the trade is negative. Floating loss, let's see, how bad do we need to float? We are floating negative 150, so euros or dollars depending on your account. So we are floating minus 150 with this first trade. If that is true, then we gonna check if we don't have a number 2 trade, a number 3, 4, 5, and 6 trade already open. So we're gonna check if there are more trades and if they are tagged. If that is no, so we have 0, so that's true. Then we're gonna place a sell now order. Well, this sell now has a lot size 2, it's a slightly bigger lot size. We execute this trade. We have a stop loss in pips, which is still that insane big stop loss, but you need the stop loss following the rules of prop firms. And then the most important, we now name this one group 2. So now we have a group 1 floating negative, and because we are floating negative, we're gonna add a second position. We give it the tag number 2. That's super important. Okay, now we have a number 2 trade open, so the next millisecond the algorithm runs this again, within this session at least, and then it's gonna select the open trades, number 2, and then again, same story true. If that number 2 is also floating negative, we want to count if we don't have 3, 4, 5, and 6 trades already open. If not, we're gonna take this trade, other lot size again, we're gonna stack trades, and we name it group number 3. Well, now you know the deal. We're gonna select group number 3 here again, check the floating profit. If that is also floating negative, you're gonna add another position, okay? And if you keep doing that, you have like every time price goes against you, you stack, and that is called a martingale, and a martingale never run that on a private account, right? You know that now, I've said it a billion times, but still, let me remind you, because one day it just doesn't come back, and then it loses a lot of money, and that is why we are playing with prop firms, a statistical game of trading where you know, okay, martingale always blows up. I've been seeing it over 10 years. The most beautiful track records, every month profit, then you know it's a martingale. The equity curve literally looks like this, the monthly returns look like this, and then you have a minus 100 month, and it's all gone. Like I said, I've seen it countless of times, and it's ridiculous that people promote those strategies to run on private money because it looks good and then it's all gone. Yeah, but with prop firms it's a different story, because this is demo money and you can get all these payouts and then it blows up, then you are in profits, okay? Then you're in profits. So that is my approach, just my opinion. So that is the strategy in a nutshell. So what we have here, we forgot one piece, and that is select trades, and then we close trades as well. So we have all these trades open. We don't have a target, right? We can check, but do we have a target with all these scale-ins? No. So what we are doing here is we're gonna select all the trades. Make sure you select it, because if you don't, then you're selecting 0 trades. So select all the trades with the tags. They are just sells, we are only selling. You're calculating floating profit. So that is your equity minus your balance. So those are just things you can find, no variables or anything. Just a variable floating profit you create, and then you use it in a formula. Then you have floating profit is above profit float. What's profit float? Profit float is 150. So if we are floating 150 in profits, then we want to do something. If that is true, then we're going to select the trades, all of them, and we're going to close the trades. So thank you for watching. Click on the link in the description below to get this template. Feel free to test it around. Feel free to make it your own and do something with it. You know the risks, you know now how prop firms work, you know how I approach prop firm challenges, and you now know how I also when you have funded accounts, how I approach that. It's all based on our experience. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Subscribe below, join the Discord as well. We have a free community for Profectus. If you have questions, comment below, and I see you in next week's episode.